of an A-plus college ready kickoff celebration day for the state. Alabama, again, is #1 in the nation in advanced placement in increase. And we were the second cohort with A-plus college ready, which basically provides professional development support for students. But that was 9 years ago. We rolled off after 5 years, and we've struggled to train our new teachers coming in and provide those support for students. So for the first time, we're piloting a re-engagement program with A-plus College Ready, and they announced that today, and we'll do another press release next week. We're just kind of highlighting our part of it. This was highlighting things from around the state, but you can see I got you guys a document of what it was going to be providing, from a lot of teacher training to providing Saturday sessions to training for all of our grades 6 through 10 teachers. Some of the focus from A-plus College Ready has shifted from when we first started, or they focused on pre-AP students. Now they're like, you know what, all kids deserve this high quality, rigorous content-rich type of lesson. So this is going to be something to affect all of our students, and it's at value. They're contributing over $500,000 over the next 3 years in this re-engagement pilot. So we're really, really excited about that.
Well, without their support from the beginning, we would have never been able to implement the first ones. So
That's correct. Before we started with them, we probably gave less than 50 advanced placement exams in our system, throughout our whole system. And last year, we gave over 2,000 AP exams, and this year, we expect to administer over 3,000. So we have our students taking the classes. The big piece we've been missing recently is really, as new teachers have come in, being able to support those new teachers, and to strengthen the program in the middle grades too. So this is, we're very grateful to them. So you could probably see on Twitter, and there's already an AO.com article about their kickoff today in Russell. So it's good. It's good to be back fully on board with them in this unique way. So that is exciting. All right. Yesterday, we had our big Impact Aid kickoff. We work with Madison City and Huntsville City every year, and each time we take turns hosting it. So this was our turn to host it, and we had Colonel Holliday, the garrison commander from Redstone, out at Sparkman High School is where we hosted it. And we put together a little video to try to get folks to fill out these forms and bring them back, because federal property doesn't pay property taxes that go to schools, so it's supplemented through this Impact Aid grant that is a federal program. So I was going to play the video for you guys and let you guys kind of see what we put together.
Each year, schools across North Alabama send home a very important form called Federal Impact Aid that impacts classrooms just like this one across North Alabama.
This Impact Aid effort means so much to our system. It really brings in funds to our system that otherwise we wouldn't have.
Students, when teachers give you these Impact Aid forms, please make sure you take them home and get your parents to fill them out.
One of the funding sources for school systems are property taxes that go right into our classrooms. Because we don't receive property taxes from Redstone Arsenal, we have an opportunity through Impact Aid to receive those dollars from the federal government. So we need everybody to fill those forms out so we can maximize the amount of dollars that we can get.
As a parent, I encourage you to complete this form and turn it back into the schools as soon as possible.
Students like me whose parents work on the arsenal as civil servants, contract employees, or military service can all help get funding for our schools.
So we need everybody to fill out these Impact Aid forms, because we want to put all the resources we can in the hands of our students and our teachers.
Make sure that you fill out Impact Aid regardless of whether or not you think you're going to qualify.
Counselors and administrative teams from each school will review the forms to make sure that we qualify for the maximum support.
Make sure you stay on it with your parents and guardians. It's super important.
It can mean big-time grants from the Department of Defense. Our last Department of Defense grant was over $750,000 to work on our STEM curriculum that goes right into our students.
Please make sure you remember to complete the form and send it in as soon as possible.
We need industry, and we need our government agencies to really push this out to their employees, because these are dollars that come right back and right into our classroom.
And this is how students can make a difference in our schools.
Complete the form, help our schools.
Complete the form. Help our schools.
Complete the form. Help our schools. All right, so I want to thank Lita and Cassie and Tim. Our team worked really hard putting this whole day together. The video that you saw there together, really wanted a team effort from all the systems. I'll be addressing this to the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors meeting next Thursday. What we're wanting to get kind of next year, the difference, we've been at about 14% system-wide. When you get to 15%, you can qualify for system-wide grants. That's kind of their threshold. And we just have come up just short a little bit every year. We think now if we get industry to get this out from, if those bosses can tell their employees, if you got kids, go fill out the form, that's, I think that's going to help us out. We get a good return on our elementary because those kids bring back their papers and that kind of thing, but our secondary students, they aren't quite as vigilant on that, so we're hoping to get a.
Okay,
So you're saying,
give it to them.
you're saying you get 14% participation?
14% of our students are qualified through Impact
Gotcha.
Aid.
Okay.
So, no, we get a higher participation,
Okay.
but yeah, we want to get above that 15%.
Gotcha.
That seems awful low, 14%.
Well, and some of our schools are 25%, some.
So you're saying overall 14%
Yeah,
system-wide?
system-wide. So the four elementary schools that reached that threshold and qualified for the Project Lead the Way elementary grant was Endeavor, Monrovia, Legacy, Harvest, Mount Carmel too?
Did Mount Carmel and Fanning and.
There you go.
and other things this last time.
In the second tier, yeah. So,
And I think one of the things that came, and I was there yesterday, and it was a well-done event, so kudos to Lita and her team for doing that. One of the things that did come out is that don't worry about whether you think you qualify. Fill the paperwork out and let the federal government determine whether or not you qualify. And that was one of the key things that was brought out during that gathering yesterday at Sparkman High. Is fill the paperwork out. If you think you qualify or you don't think you qualify, just fill it out.
and we went through an extensive audit this fall, it seems, or maybe it was last spring, was it this fall? It was yesterday.
This fall.
And we learned a lot from that experience, so we think we tinkered with our form a little bit, and we can hit that threshold there. So that's an ongoing effort. Also, I want to talk about our cyber camp push that we pushed out yesterday, and so I don't know if you remember, but Governor Ivey came up to Space at Rocket Center, and they had a $10 million grant that she issued them for the cyber camp. So we've been working with the Huntsville Cyber Initiative, and they want us to play a bigger role in that. So they're going to allow us, just our system, our students to, in the first cohort that they have, to have our students to cover most of the seats in there. So we're going to have anywhere between 20 and 32 seats. We're kind of working on to maximize that out. But I emailed this to all of our students yesterday, and we put it on our social media. But we actually kind of picked the date to try to make sure that that will coincide with. Are the dates on there, Alan?
They are actually the dates were inside on the application.
Oh, okay. So on the application in there, so we have a deadline there. But we tried to work it out so they miss. It's 5 straight days. We worked it out so they would miss the minimum possible. I think we're doing it some during our Thanksgiving
Yes,
break, since we have a full week of Thanksgiving. I think we're running like Friday through the next Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, something in there. So they wanted 5 straight days where they're staying on campus. Their lodging and all of that is covered completely free by our students in this first grant. So this is available for all of our students in our system. And I really want to thank Cyber Huntsville, Alicia Rhines especially, which is the CEO at LSync, has really kind of taken us under her wing and wants to give us, our students,
Certainly hope we don't miss that opportunity. I certainly hope our students take advantage of something truly unique and important like that.
That's right.
So we need to get the word out.
Yeah, so this is exciting. And we have little cyber clubs and some classes that kind of are kick-starting up in some of our schools, and we really hope this is something that really propels that even faster there. So there you go. There's my updates there. Any other comments on those? All right. Well, we'll get started here. I recommend the approval of the agenda for September 21, 2017.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to approve of tonight's agenda. Any discussion? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All in favor.
All right. Recommend approval of the minutes for August 10th and 24th, 2017.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for those 2 dates. Or there's any discussion? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all in favor.
Okay. I recommend approval of the financial statements, payments of bills, and the cash reports for July and August of 2017.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the financial reports. Any discussion? Karen, anything you need to tell us?
Any surprises?
No, sir. No surprises. We're on track with our budget, and I'll give you more information as we close the fiscal year.
Okay. I was in
As much as you want.
in a school today, and they saw the treasure, the bookkeeper, and, oh, this is a crazy time of the year.
Yes.
So, all right.
September and October are crazy.
Right, thank you. Okay, if there's no more discussion, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, all in favor.
Okay. I recommend approval of the following contracts for services as attached.
Does this have the addition on there? Oh, well, we need a motion.
Motion?
Second.
Does this have the addition that we got today?
It does.
It
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, if not, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All in favor.
All right. Okay, I recommend approval of the revisions to the Madison County Board of Education Policy 4.12 concerning community advisory groups.
Motion.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the changes to the Community Advisory Group policy. We've looked at this for a couple of times now. Is any discussion? All right, if not, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All in favor.
We'll begin putting those together now. I recommend approval to the revisions from Madison County Board of Education Policy. This is 6.27 for suicide awareness and prevention.
Motion.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second on this policy, 6.27. Is there any discussion? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All in favor.
I recommend approval of the following personnel items and the addendum as submitted.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the personnel agenda?
Ms. Stump, how many special education aides at this point have you had to post again this year? Thank you. Since the school started.
And that included the original 11 that we had before the school started.
Some of those are repeated, right? I mean, you hired them and then you had to hire them again.
Any further discussion? If not, we will vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All in favor.
Okay, that's all I have. There's a few other business, and I was going to, figured you guys might want to talk about your District 9 ASB meeting with your other business that y'all closed around. I did meant to mention that in my updates. and
It's
did not.
okay. We did, Sherry and Matt was late, but we did go to Gunnersville on Tuesday night for the District AASB meeting, and it was very informative, I thought, talking about things that are going to be, they were kind of getting our input on things that are probably going to come before the legislature, which goes into session in January. So, Sherry, you want to?
We had our little clickers and we, gave opinions on about, 25 different topics. And then they had a presentation of how to get along with your superintendent.
Right. Yes.
Good to know that.
He barely got there for that.
Yes, I made sure I was there for that.
In all fairness to him, I think he had been witnessed a terrible wreck on 65. Anybody have anything you want to share? I was at Central today and got a calendar, they're going to be 100 years old. That would mean that I have 2 schools in my district that are 100 years old, much like their board member.
Do we want to set board meeting dates or wait for Angie to do that?
What do y'all want to do? Probably need to wait
Okay.
till everybody's here. We did, I think, decide we would only meet once in October.
Right,
Isn't
correct.
that
so-
correct? And that's
correct.
the latter part of the month, let's see.
26.
26. And so
That's a regular
it
session?
will be a regular session. I'm sure we'll have, Dr. Minsky said Mr. Massey was going to try just to have work sessions and regular sessions. And then Cindy said, well, what about October where there's just one meeting? So Sherry said that. Now, what are we going to do? So
Well, we can do a combo there, but in the work
then
session.
after that.
In the work session, we'll try to see if we can, we always have a couple administrative items. We go into a special session, so we'll see if we can avoid that when we can.
And we
Sure
do,
have work
we
sessions.
have, you have a certification for executive session tonight.
Do you have a transfer?
We do.
That ended up not, it got pulled.
Cool.
You want to do
Okay.
item B?
No.
The committee's teacher of the year?
Yes,
I do have a
yes.
certification, I need to give you a legal update.
Okay.
All right. Okay, yes. Okay, we have it's that time of the year, it's a little early, right, Lena, for Teacher of the Year. And normally, we have one person off the board that serves for the Teacher of the Year and one that serves for the support person.
We need 3. So our
We need
we're
3?
we're doing a little bit differently, because what we had last year is the teacher of the years. That was quite burdensome. There's a lot of packets to read. So we've kind of narrowed that packet down a little bit, but we want to get one board member to do the elementary teacher of the year. That judging group is going to be different than secondary. So
Okay, that makes
So we're going to
sense.
kind of cut it down. So we need somebody for elementary, somebody for secondary, and somebody for support. So we need 3 of you 4.
Well, I did the teacher of the year last year, so I'll be more than happy to do support person of the year this year.
I'll do elementary.
Oh, I'll do it. Yes, I've never done it. I don't know
Well,
what
if
I'm
you've never
asking-
done
what
it,
I'm volunteering
it's
for.
very rewarding.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
I'm not doing it. I did one for the state last year, so it's not like I didn't. And, they arrive like 2 days before you're supposed to have it done. You're thinking, what? And they're like this, so.
Yeah, and I'm glad to hear that the packets are going to be slimlined.
But the winners, they will have to, people who win at the district level, will they have to redo their packet to go to state because the state has certain criteria?
Yes, and we can, a lot of it, the same content will go in there, but what we can do now is the comments that you guys leave, if you will leave suggestions, the district winner can actually use those comments as they redo their packet. So the reason we moved up our Teacher of the Year ceremony is we want a state winner. We've gotten a state finalist probably 4 out of the last 6 years. We want to get a winner, so we think that there's some things, they got time to tinker with that from the district to the state.
So these people will be announced next summer, is that?
These,
In October?
that we're going to announce it in October on the 24th, October 24th at Meridianville at 5 o'clock, and they will be our 17-18 Teacher of the Year for this year, so we kind of have 2.
So we already have the people, well, we did something at that opening meeting.
From the local schools.
These are the
They
same
named
folks.
Oh, okay.
The same people we announced, you'll be judging their packets.
They'll be competing against one
Oh,
another.
okay.
Okay. Have they already done their paperwork?
They are,
It's due on the 28th.
I know last year you gave them, didn't you give them a day?
we did, and we had some take advantage of it, some didn't. Some, it was still too much, some chose not to do the packet at all because it was just so many. So we thought with the way we've narrowed it down, we've given them more time, we brought them in that we didn't necessarily need.
So how many essays are in this one?
There's a professional biography, which is the same as the state application, and then there are 2 essays.
That is smaller than the previous year, than last year. They had 3.
There's also an interview process that we've added also.
Yeah, so you guys, after you guys select, we've actually got a panel for the Teacher of the Year. We're not doing an interview panel for sport, correct? So for Teacher of the Year, we're gonna have an interview panel, kind of like they do with the state final. So the top 4 or 5, that from elementary, top 4 elementary, top 4 secondary will come in for an interview panel. And then,
Who's that panel?
who's the panel?
Who's on the panel?
No one affiliated with our school.
So folks from the business community, things.
Sarah Fanning would be a good person. I don't look for Buckhorn to fare as well this year since Sarah retired. I mean,
Boom.
she's such a good writer, and she's always done what you're talking about doing, where you're
Yeah.
turning in your absolute best, so.
Yeah. I'm glad we're going to that interview panel. I think that's important.
Okay, that's good. So we have our volunteers. Alita, you got their names, right? Okay. All right. If there's nothing else to come before the board, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for legal reasons.
So moved.
Nothing to vote on.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and second to go into executive session for legal reasons. There'll be nothing that we vote on when we come back. This is just legal information only. Thank you all for coming. You'll have time to get dinner. It's not even 6 o'clock. Write that down, Priscilla. What time we got out of here?
I think we've done them quicker. I think we have one that was quicker.
Not a problem.
I think it was like 15 minutes.
It's like a year ago.